What's good, music producers? It's Curtis King of Curtis King TV, and today I have a new series for you. This series is what we're going to call the Producer's Cut. Very much like when you watch your favorite movie and then you look in the extras, I guess these are the DVD days, the director has basically made a version of the movie where they break down scene by scene why they did certain things or why they went for certain angles. I wanted to relay that and make it make sense in a producer sense. What you're gonna watch today is producer cut number 1. This is very different from anything you've seen from any producer, and the video is gonna be a little bit long. So get your snacks ready, get your food ready. The purpose of this is for me to not only just show you my beat making process, but to also break down step by step why it is that I do every single thing that I do. Why do I choose this plugin? Why did I choose to play the instrument this certain way? I basically get to bring you inside of my mind in a way that I can't do when I'm actually cooking up because I'm literally in the flow of things. This beat in particular is called Acai, lo-fi-ish R&B type of vibe with heavy drums, and so I kind of just want to bring you inside my mind as I show you what I created when I created it. Ooh. Something I do along the way is I always make sure that I'm beatboxing, especially when I'm in high energy. It's almost like it's just bubbling inside of me and I have to do something about it. So beatboxing along with the chords, especially because I'm triggering them off of that auto chord feature that's in Scalar, because I'm going and basically auto triggering them, it allows me to play it pretty rhythmically, pretty close to what is the final version, honestly. Now, when you don't know music theory, I mean, we kind of innately know what direction we want to go in. What I've always understood about music, even without knowing music theory, is that, you know, if you're going to start a loop off, if you're going to start off a piece of music that is original, you want to have a definitive beginning and a definitive ending. And so as you're putting these chords together, depending on what style of beat you're making, that's going to determine the direction of where you go. Typically, when you're starting off low and then you're going high, it's more of an energetic, inspirational beat. And then typically when you start off high and then you're going low, it's kind of a somber feeling. And so direction is more important to me than actual keys. I want to make sure it feels like a definitive ending and it all brings it home. Oh, yes. Just trying to find it. Ooh. Hey. As you can probably guess, me singing along with this honestly helps me figure out other melodies to go along with it. The more that I'm in tune with it from a melodic level, the more ideas I feel come to me. So this is important in terms of tapping into my melodic zone as I'm starting to put everything together. So let's get the metronome going. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, baby, yeah, baby. Let's go, baby. You notice that the way that I talk to myself is very encouraging as opposed to discouraging. As I'm playing through these, I know that things are off. I know some things don't sound right, but I'm not going to allow that to be the reason why I talk down to myself. So if it's offbeat, so who cares? I'm like, ooh, that's not it. Ooh, but we getting there. That's important. You couldn't imagine how encouraging that can be, especially when you're the only one in the studio. Okay. As you can see, I started to separate the chords because I started to feel like they were a little bit too jumbled. They're kind of playing all in the same octave. I wanted the piano to feel cinematic, and separating them gave me that feeling. Okay. One of my little cheat codes, and I mean, I'm sure that you've probably already done this already, but whenever I really want to get like some momentum building within me and I want to build up the energy of melodics that I'm working on or a melody that I'm working on, gotta bring that last piano key, the root note, all the way down another octave on the piano so I can get that real dark and bassy piano. That just makes it feel so full without anything else on there. Let's come down and out. Just gotta find the right key. Oh, S, strong. Yeah. Now, even though I don't know music theory, I know how the keys should sound. I know a piano player does not play every single key perfectly on time every single time. My goal is to make it feel natural, to make it feel more emotional. Yeah. Ugh. It's coming. Here we go. That's another little cheat code that I do. Instead of me trying to figure out a melody as I'm playing along, what I'll do is I'll start to slice keys in the rhythm that I want them in. And then once I have that, I'll change the velocity to make it feel like I'm more naturally playing it. But as you can tell, they're going to all be in key because they're all within the chords. They're all within the scale. So as I do this, it kind of helps me understand these chord progressions since I didn't make them from scratch and I got the help of Scalar. And if you trust your brain, you'll be surprised what direction your brain already knows to go in, right? Or not even your brain, but as you feel the music out, I guess it's your heart. As you're sitting here with it, you know, okay, I should go high. Even without knowing music theory, you know what direction to go in. It's a feeling. So I always cut those after I have these chords. Baby, come on, keep the music going. What are you doing? I even forced myself. You gotta keep the music going. This is all about momentum. I moved that microphone out the way because it's time to play, baby. Let's go. So as you can see, if you look up and down or the scale highlighting, I know where to play just looking at the screen. Then from there, it's just a matter of playing rhythmically so that it has a style to it. But don't be afraid to play the wrong keys. I'm looking for some special moments. I'm looking for something that hits me in the heart. And I'm like, yeah, I gotta use that. Something I'll do is if I find the right keys that I like, I'll just play it over and over until I start adding one key at a time, two keys at a time. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sticking with this. This is the new loop. So it's almost like I'm recording, but I'm not. I'm just literally repeating them. And what it also does is that it keeps me in the flow of the music, but it also helps me practice what I'm getting ready to play. So I just kind of jam out for a second. There we go. Now I play this at a higher key or a higher octave because I plan on moving it to its own channel, but I still want to play within the flow of everything that I discovered these notes off of. So I'm keeping it on the channel right now, but I just took it to another octave because I can easily grab it without having to worry about it overlapping the other keys. Y'all over here laughing at me for having stickers on my keys. You better stop being embarrassed to learn. Hey, man. I know my keys. I'll be looking. I'll be paying attention to some of these scales. Look, even though the music is stopping because I'm loading up a VST, it doesn't matter. I'm still over here dancing. Look, I'm rewinding. Look. Ain't stopping nothing. Bob your head. Let's go. Let's go. Keep dancing when it's loading. That's right. Dancing. I know that's right. Stay smiling, man. Keep smiling. Now, even if it's out of your nature, just smile. Just smile for the very sake that you're alive. I know that's probably sounds corny to somebody. I don't care. You're alive. You're making music. You have the opportunity. This is a privilege to sit down and do what you love. Appreciate it and show it appreciation. Let's go. Now, I'm searching for this high synthesizer that I use on a lot of my West Coast beats. I just felt like it would bring out a whole nother element in it. I can already hear it. Once again, it's a habit of mine to name the sounds as I'm using them, just so that when I actually lay everything out, it doesn't cause any confusion and it doesn't cause me to get into my scientific mode too soon. Look, I'm even like singing the notes out loud. Music is a contact sport. You gotta sometimes sing it out loud, because if you sit there and wait for the keys to talk to you, they may never talk to you. So I'm already adding effects to the keys before I've even added the keys down there. I'm already in my mind thinking 4 steps ahead because I've just done it so many times. If you know your tools, you know your go-to plugins, it's no mystery what you're looking for. At this point, I was trying to process, what do I want to do first? Ugh. You ever play something and in your mind you hear another rhythm, but you just at least got to find the notes first? That's what's happening. I'm finding the notes and then I know the different rhythm that I want to play it in, because I'm playing boom, boom, da-dum, but I'm hearing da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. So I want to go ahead and just at least get the keys down. Ugh. Can you tell by the head nod? That's what I wanted to do the whole time. There we go. Lay it down. Does not matter if it's not perfect or if it's offbeat, if it's swinging too much. I don't care. Get it down. Fix it later. You look at the way my head is nodding, I look like a snake. I look weird. But my head is telling me right now that I need a snare. I need a backbeat. And so my snare is literally like a placeholder until I put that snare down, just so I can keep the swing that I imagine inside my head. So that's why you see me still bobbing my head and there's not a whole lot of music there. I'm hearing the drums already. I just got to make sure that I keep building this momentum. Sometimes I'll build so many keys around it just to build that excitement, so that the drums feel that much more exciting when I bring them in. Yeah, that part. What's crazy is that when I'm getting ready to play, I beatboxed that earlier in this session. and didn't even remember it. It just started coming through the keys. That's why it's important to just say it out loud. You never know what's just sitting right there, still hanging around in your working memory, waiting to be utilized. And right now it's getting utilized without me even knowing I said it earlier. Let's get like real Childish Gambino, Red Bone-ish up in here. I was listening to a lot of Childish Gambino around this time, so that's why I wanted to get all of these really 70s bell sounds and analog synthesizers. I was just in that vibe. Okay, let's go. Let's go. I'm starting to find momentum. I changed that other piano. Like I said, I'm just testing out the keys to see what works. In my mind, I'm saying I'm going to eventually replace this, but the necessity to do that right now is not pressing until it is pressing. After I added those other keys, it started to feel a little bit too congested and busy. So I said, let me go ahead and find something that has more space, has a different character, that doesn't clash with these new layers that I added with the synthesizer. You notice how I'm looking for sounds that already fit within the mix of things? Instead of me putting all this pressure on my mix making sounds work, I'm finding sounds that already naturally fit within the vibe that I've already set. So I'm finding sounds that already carry a natural reverb. I mean, the folks that made Omnisphere, they spent a lot of time creating these presets, turning these knobs, and making sure that they're things that you want to use. It already has the things that I probably would apply to it in order to fit it with everything else. So I muted that other synth because I couldn't really hear. There was something wrong with the bells, something that was out of key. It's a third set of bells that come in, but I'll recognize that a little bit later. This is a danger zone right here, ladies and gentlemen. This right here could be the killer of a flow state. Being too analytical, trying to find things, rushing the process. If I do not identify what it is that I'm looking for, this could be the thing that starts a domino effect that gets me into a whole nother place that I don't want to go. It's important that I identify at least what I'm looking for. If it's a bass, it does not matter if it's the perfect bass. I need to find a bass. So this is where I'm at right now. There we go. So as you can see, I'm up here manipulating things because I don't recognize at this point that the bell is what's giving me issues. And so I'm working with the bass. And one thing that I do whenever I feel like I'm not really hitting the notes, I use the FL keys because once again, it's a frequency that I can get straight to the point and figuring out what keys work where. It just becomes very clear to me when I use that. Perfection is not the key. Just getting it down, we'll fix it later. All right, take that. Now exchange it. I want to feel it. I know I could take these ghost notes and copy them over. I get it. I want to feel it. I want to feel like I actually had a part in this beat. And that makes me feel it. So I pulled this vocal from Splice because I felt like I already hear the drums. The drums are loud as day to me right now. This is why I haven't laid down a drum pattern because I hear a specific type of drum right now. I love the energy that is building up because I'm just anticipating it more and more and more.
I'm right by your side.
Let's do something.
Don't be shy. I'm right by your side.
So a little quick harmony trick that I learned from the homie Yo Gosh is that I'll basically copy over a vocal and then I'll make it a unique sample, and then I'll take the pitch all the way down to 500 or 700 or 1200, or sometimes all the way to wherever the bottom one is, just trying to find the right harmony that feels good. So you'll see me tweak around with that right now.
Be shy.
Gotta make sure it's in stretch mode or it's not gonna be in the same key.
Don't be shy. I'm right by your side.
Gives me the goose tickles, the goosebumps. I likes it. So as you can tell, I have two kicks that are layered. So I have one that's a lo-fi-ish type of kick from the same kick. I think it's a decap kit from like 6 or 7, but these are both in the same kit. I like to use drum loops or drum one-shots from the same kit usually. I assume they're processed the same way. I got that and this J Dilla clap, and it's just giving me all the vibes that I need. I have two layered kicks. One is just literally on the ones. Right? The purpose of this one is to make it feel like it just kicks you in the chest. The other ones are just to keep the tempo and keep the vibe going. But that one is just so that I can feel it. That's an emotional decision. That's not really a music decision. When I'm laying down a hi-hat, I need to get the general vicinity of what I'm looking for. Laid it down, then I was like, you know what? I want to jazz this up with like some Latin percussion loops. And I was like, that's just my go-to. That's one of my favorite things in the whole world when it comes to sound. I love like Latin jazz sounds. Ooh, okay. So here I'm trying to find the proper key for this 808 so that I can all keep it within the key. Go. Love this kick. So apparently that second kick wasn't enough. I had to add that good old no jumper kick from the Vibe Kits 3. Yeah, I did that because I want to make sure that I feel the music first before we think about even trying to mix or tweak or make it more clear. Gotta feel the music first. Now we add even another layer of hi-hats. As you can see, I do a lot of the velocity shifting because I feel like there's an attitude. There's a certain attitude when you let hi-hats roll and the velocity goes down that I feel when I do that. I play it over and over and over again because I hear a rhythm. If I can get at least the first 4 bars of it down, I'll just copy and paste, add variations where necessary. If I get them first few down, it's a wrap. Now, what I'll do sometimes is make some of these piano roll bars. I'll just call them bars. I don't know what you call these, but these piano bar rolls, I'll make some longer because I know that a roll is coming in. My general rule of thumb for rolls is that I either make them go into something or come out of something. So they're either building momentum into a snare or they're coming out of a snare in a stylistic way. So a quick little trick that I do, obviously I go to 1/3 on the step, on the snap up there, the main snap, and then I push Control U, and that helps me just make a quick little roll. So I didn't like the location, and I also didn't like the type of roll that I did, so I'm choosing another auto snap. Trying to find the right location for these rolls. You see the way that rolls off of the kick? It's just so those rolls are going into the kick that comes in. Once you get one roll like that, man, copy and paste that thing wherever you want it to, because you made that roll, that's your roll. Now you can vary it up, you can double it up, you can triple it up, whatever feels good to you, run it. Looking for a rhythm that keeps the rhythm but also kind of messes with your predictability inside your head, because when you hear you're expecting so I'm trying to mess around with manipulating where your comfort zone is and then making this new pattern your new comfort zone. I'm just pushing Control A, which is select all, and then just holding down Shift and just dragging them over with the mouse. Once again, that's that randomizer that I had there for a second, and I just basically use that to vary up some of the velocities and the panning. So I ended up changing those notes that I changed those bell notes, thankfully. Okay, music producers, how was that? Did you enjoy it? Should I do more? Are there any beats that are on my YouTube or that you've heard from streaming that you want me to break down in a future episode? Leave it down below in the commentary. Thank you for watching. Once again, I'm Curtis King of Curtis King TV. Have a good one. Look up, Nazi. Say cheese.